beautiful evening. Is this in here? Trying to organize the last kind of haul of seashells that I've acquired for crafts and gifts. And I happened to find these on the side of the road. And they were brand new. I just rinsed them in some rainwater real quick. So that'll be perfect because most of the shells I keep organized in here. But when I find more than what could fit in here, they get their own jar. So the jarred shells are inside, and I'll use these trays to put whatever goes in those jars in it. And some aren't perfect. I don't really pick up shells because they're perfect. I actually try to leave any like fully intact shells for hermit crabs and stuff. Of course I grab some too, but I really like stuff that, you know, shows its time in the ocean. And this, I'm believing, is a whelk, a lightning whelk that's been eroded slightly. Let me make sure this is up. Hello, and hello, Essential Shorts for you. Oh, pretty good. Finally made it to the beach. The water's still a little chilly, and I am a South Floridian, so, but it didn't bother me one bit. I jumped right in. I am trying to spend as much time outside now. Always been an outdoors person, however, obviously the last few years everybody's lives were kind of uprooted and then made to stay in one place. So I started learning some more skills like in regards to like computers, because it's no secret, I'm not the most technologically savvy human out there. I actually grew up without internet. And so I still to this day use books when I'm trying to get to the bottom of something. Slowly trying to get those books online though. One crazy thing is I only have like 4 or 5 walnut shells. I found a ton. My hands are still dyed from mulberries, so please disregard my corpse hands. These are walnut shells, really interesting. Very thin shells. Ooh, my coffee has been salted. And no creatures inside of them. They sound really nice, and I could imagine making a maraca with them. And they are white, like calcified, but if you dip this in some muriatic acid mixed in with water for a split second, because it's a very thin shell, it'll be like a dark brown. I have some. Grab a hair clip. It's kind of windy. Was gonna pick as much mulberries as I could last night, and this morning I woke up to the tree going crazy. So a lot of the ripe ones have probably been thrown. However, there's tons of rabbits and other creatures that really like them. And this year, the trees are so packed that I couldn't even pick all of them if I wanted to. I don't know if you can see the difference, but this is one I treated with the acid. Trying to get the sun, but the mulberry tree is moving around too much. They calcify. A lot of times you'll find a shell on the beach and it'll be gorgeous, and then you bring it home and it's all faded and white. But if you use the acid trick, you can see, okay, so maybe I have a little more than 4 or 5 walnut shells. And these are all from the local beaches. Quite a bunch. Cowries, I always get way too excited to find. I never find the big ones. The small ones, I like these. They look like little liver spots or something. I love these ones. And they sound really good together. Perfect for like a musical instrument. And these, I believe, are star shells. But all the spikes have eroded off of it. I've been trying to put more effort into IDing them. I know I have my little names for them, but like these, I'm 90% sure is referred to as shark's eyes. I call these little mermaid necklaces because like Vanessa and the I can't sing, but really neat. And this has that like a big old notch on it. It's, usually when I find them, it's all eroded, so I never see that texture. Loved your garden plant video. Is that your own garden? Yeah, this is we're 5 years in to growing an edible Eden, if you will, an Eden of our own. Southeast Florida, a lot can grow here, and there's a lot of fail-proof plants. And I jokingly say that I'm a black thumb, but I know what could grow. Like I'll show, I don't think it's going to. Made this pond not too long ago, but it's getting overgrown, so I have to free it. But this is from eBay. This Wakisa mulberry. This was about a 6-inch stick when I got it in the mail, and I just ordered a cutting. It took 5 years to fruit, but you just put it in the ground, forget about it. Look at this gorgeous color. Let me see, can you see? It's this like beautiful coral color. And then the ripe fruits, let me turn the phone up a little bit, are these long, oh that's ready. Okay, let me put this down. That's ready. So I'll grab quite a medium one. This is the 222 mulberry, or dwarf everbearing, I believe. I'll show it. And this is the Wakisa. This is the first year it's fruiting. So cool. These ones, the everbearing I call the 222 mulberry because they're from my grandparents' house, which was long since sold, but it was their home address was 222, and that's where that tree. All of them are from. There's 8 of them. I miscounted. 8 or 9, honestly. I'm not counting 2 because they're babies, but they're all from the same. I just grabbed a few branches. If you ever see a mulberry, grab a branch because you'll have a mulberry of your own. That's a good inch, maybe even a little longer. Oh yeah. Isn't this an inch, or is this? Oh, that's really exciting. It was about this big in the mail, and I just stuck it in. You'll see these little kind of like buds, and the whole branch will be dry, and then those little buds start to erupt green. How do you know so much about plants? Honestly, I grew up very close to the ocean, not on the ocean, over the bridge, but I always was outside. And then I started foraging at a really young age. There's this website is gold to me. It's called Eat the Weeds and Other Things Too. The man who created the website, his book just came out too, which I'm trying to score a copy before they sell out, is named Green Dean. And because a lot of the plants that I started with were just from foraging. I always had tiny little apartments. I always had container gardens and stuff, but it wasn't until 5 years ago I started planting in ground. And hi Katsuna. Oh, she gonna knock over my coffee. But between that and asking neighbors if they have any cuttings that are easy to grow, and all a cutting is quite literally a branch cutting cut off the tree, and you could either stick it in the ground. Sometimes you have to put rooting hormone on it. I have some laying around. I always lose it, so I always look for the easy to grow stuff like this and edible. This just snaps right off. Chaya, this little piece I could throw in a bucket of soil and it'll grow into a tree. And of course, this will grow into a tree. No rooting hormone. You don't even need like a nice cut. You could just stick it in the ground. That'll grow. And the flowers are really nice. Little white flowers. And this is chaya or tree spinach. And these leaves, edible, not as is though. You gotta boil them once, or I boil them twice just because it makes me feel better. They don't lose their texture. And the other variety, the leaves are a little wider, so you can use them for like wrapping, like grape leaves. And this is what I use instead of spinach, and I've used this my whole life instead of spinach. And spinach, anytime I buy it, like I'll buy one, it's buy one, get one. The next day, it smells like fish and it's slimy. And if I do happen to like cook it when it's fresh, it's such a small amount, but you know, is what it is. I love spinach. However, this perennial, so year round, got a spinach substitute. I'm actually working on some fail-proof gardens for anyone interested in a zone 10, unfortunately, because unless it's growing in a warm house in a container, I don't think these will like colder climates. And there's some stuff that does. It doesn't mind it. But I swear, half of these plants, are just from going around, walking around. Any seed pod I'll grab and try to grow. Cutting sometimes. And there's a lot of plants that even the tiniest branch, you'll get a whole new plant. And even the leaf, you could put the leaf in soil and it'll grow a plant, which is wild to me. And especially the leaves, because there's a lot of like ornate leafy plants. Like there's this, I keep forgetting what they're called, but they're green leaves, furry, and they have like fuchsia or magenta in the center. They're so pretty. I have one, but it's not doing very good. And you could grab a leaf, a single leaf. A single leaf. And this actually is from last year. It just fell and I forgot about it. And they usually die after seeding, but it's self-seeding, so it just more will pop up. And one leaf, I was gonna just make a craft out of it, but instead I decided to throw it in a little thing of soil and it grew. And that's what this is from. Where can I put this? And beyond that, plant people, I am convinced are, I don't know, kind of like little angelic beings, because I don't know, besides like swimming, any physical activity, it's very relaxing and it's very cathartic. The fresh air, it's incredible, the sun. And I've never met a plant person that didn't want to share, whether it be information, seeds, anything. I love this. It's got a really nice texture on it. I actually find these in the swamps out here too. I don't know what these are called. But there's quite a few, but they're usually quite eroded in the points. Some of my favorites though. Anything black and white, I really like, especially in nature. We get these corn snakes here. I think they're called Florida corn snakes. And beautiful red and orange down its body, like traditional snake print. But on its stomach, it's like a black and white checkerboard almost. Really neat. I cannot believe how many walnut shells. Be broke. Trying to get a grinder so I could start preparing some of these, because I really want to get some of these fragments to jewelers. Like this, But if you like get a circle out of it, that like I can't get over it. It would look really nice. And these nice common. Oh, lots of shells. Isn't it pretty? How do I forget what these are called? I find these so much, and they're just like your basic shell, but what I do is I'll make a little, like a, how would you say, like a little collage on the inside, and then fill it with resin, and that'll be like a nice shell necklace on one side, or you can wear it to show the internal bit. Oh, I never find them like with that. Those ridges, and they're really fragile, but those ridges are intense. I wish I had a larger thing to dump this in. Here are other fragments. Not a lot of people seem to be interested in these ones, but I like when I find the flat ones. That's actually a piece of a barnacle. And you could see all the channels. Really neat structures. Got some stones for some projects. And I know not everybody has a coast. That's why this trip is especially a trip to grab a little extra. Because that's so cool. I wish it was just a hair less eroded, but it's coral with a perfect hole. Now that on a necklace, and it's also very absorbent, so you could use it for how do you say, essential oil, and hang it from your car mirror with oil on it. I think that's good. And I could find a few hagstones or Odin stones. Really trying to focus on fragments. I found some lion's paw fragments. I rarely find whole ones, but I did find a lot of scallop shells. And I'll grab these even if they're chipped up. They have the most beautiful coloring and patterns. I didn't empty my bag in between beaches. We were so like elegant. And this is quite old. Oh no, you're good. You're good. I pop on live because I'm naturally very scatterbrained, so I'm usually working on a few things at once. Thankfully, I've kind of boiled my workflow down to ultimate productivity within my own limitations. Because ain't no secret, I'm very scatterbrained. But I try to use that to my benefit, and I'm able to focus on a bunch of things. Like my desk inside is a total mess because I'm in the middle of making a bunch of chain, but also picking mulberries, sorting some shells. Because this really doesn't work. This is more like therapeutic. Like you'll see me at 4 in the morning. Like if I can't sleep, I'll sit there with tweezers. I have a bottle. Is it here? Yeah. I'm not losing my mind. I might be. I started collecting silica from the sand. I only have about 12 grains. But that's real silica. I'm going to try to melt it down. When it's clear, it looks like salt. I grabbed some sand last time so I could, oh, there they are. Find these too. Don't know what they are. They're the center of spiral shells, and that's just like the last little bit before it erodes into nothing. Well, sand. But they fit perfectly. They're really, really neat looking, very archaic looking. I've been using these as beads since I was a kid, and finally found a sweet spot, Singer Island. I couldn't believe. Usually I'll find one, maybe two, in crunchy patches of sand, but oh, I found a bunch. And they probably fell. Well, no. I had to find a new bag. I use a bag to collect shells because these are all from swimming. Some are from the shore, but I like swimming. The bags I sell for shells, the holes are too big, so anything small falls right out. But this, I think it was for a guitar pedal, amplifier, maybe a guitar, yeah, pedal. This I've been using for like 10 years now, and it's really nice, and it doesn't like fill up with water, because sometimes I'll try to use like a canvas bag, like a messenger bag, but I haven't been able to find the perfect fabric because I swim with it, like all down the coast. It has to be like one of the greatest activities here. I am convinced. These are some of my favorites. This is the inside of a shark's eye shell, but it's the strangest shape. It kind of looks like I don't know, like a bean or a grub. And they're really neat. It has a capsule to it. Yeah. I feel safer with them on the floor. I have knocked one of these over before, and I have cried. Ain't no shame. This is my favorite though, and this is just fragments. So these are, oh my god, what are they called? I forgot what they're called. They're not barnacles, but I have them in with barnacles. Oh shoot, what are you called? I just looked it up yesterday, so I didn't forget to. These though, worm shells. These are my favorite specimens. When I usually find them, they're kind of in a knotted, matted mess. But these, really, really nice. I used to make hats, and like really nice, pretty hats, whatever. And I used to stick one of these in it. So when someone looks a little too close, they'd be like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Be like beads and like really pretty yarn and sticks. Gotta make those hats again. And these are the knobs. It's like the inside of these shells, when they erode enough, they like almost turn into pebbles. Now these things are my favorite. I say that about a lot, but another inside of a spiral shell. These look, some of them look like art, or like lucky, like a little lucky charm or something. Spirals are always nice to find. And then, yeah, see, there's all the barnacle fragments. Cool ones, too. Like, I used to use this one as a cup. Just because you can. You can see some of the pinks and the purples on the side. I haven't dipped this one in acid because I'm too afraid. I love it so much. And that's probably my favorite, because it's still attached to, could be a pylon, iron, and there's some worm shells underneath. I really want to try to find, I've lost so many bids on prosthetic eyes, German prosthetic eyes. They're glass, really nice. And I thought it would be really cool to put one of the eyes in in the barnacles. Oh yeah. I usually don't pick this stuff up, but this is a good shape. And the more I spend outside, the more I value aesthetically pleasing rocks to keep my papers from blowing away. It's one of these razor clams? No, they're not razor. What are they? I printed out a graph so I didn't forget the proper name. This is why I tried to empty the bag to avoid breaking. But no harm, because I'll just take a Dremel and smooth it out when the time comes to use it for something. And these are called skeletons. Well, I call them skeletons because they're like a shell skeleton. But they're really nice just on a cord or on a chain. I really like them. The eroded shells. And it's not like any creature could use that as a home or anything. Another spiral. It's the first time I found one of the spirals that actually still has a part of the shell attached. So I'm finally going to be able to ID them. Those spirals have been a mystery. But that little bit of like pattern left on it, I think we'll be able to figure out exactly what shell it was. And I did grab a ton of stuff with holes because for KYNTO I want to start sending stuff out. Oh, I forgot about this. I've never found a limpet in this coloring. It's only a fragment, but I don't know. And a lot of people don't have the coast right next to them, so I was gonna send a shell on a cord from Florida. Like, that is so cool. If I could find a way to grind this into a circle and set it in sterling, I think it'd be really special. I think this is a Leaf's coin purse? No. I've been collecting shells my whole life, and I just realized like I could start sharing it. God, I can't remember any of the names. For some reason I don't know a lot of shell collectors. I found some whole shells too. I'm gonna try to make a locket. I was trying to make my own closure, but I went online and I found they're very affordable. Little brass closures, so I could just not worry about having to try to make one. I do a little metal work with sterling and copper. However, I just use a micro torch. Like the torches people would use for creme brulee or dabs or whatever. That little torch, quite useful with for making jewelry. And even just make your own head pins. Head pins could get quite pricey, and they're made like crap now. Made it with the worst material, which I don't mind so much because I don't mind when things tarnish. I try to make sure I use all natural beads and stuff, so giving it an older look, I don't mind. And I know when I wear stuff, it's going to start changing. But I do try to only use copper now until I could afford sterling. But copper's nice. If the metal is going to change, I'd rather it be just a pure metal. Not pure, but you know what I mean? Kind of like simpler, rather than these weird alloys that they first chip because they're painted, and then they turn like the silvery, brassy color. And I know that's not all of them. I don't know. I can't afford to keep buying the same head pins though, because they really tarnish. And ever since I started making my own, I just do that. I did make a short showing how I do it, because I can't stress enough, it's very easy. And if you know anybody in electrical or plumbing even, ask for or if you see someone repairing something, you're like, you got like a little piece of copper wire scrap? That's how I started anyway. The copper wire that they use has a bunch of strands, and that's a lot of craft material. And what you could do with the strands is make head pins. And those head pins you can use to hold beads, make tassels. Ha! I actually can. Tune this shit. This thing was the best like $2 ever spent. Yard sale. You're concerned about my. Ooh, wait, how does it go? It's not tuned. I haven't tuned this in a good 2 years, and it's very dirty because it's using it in water. You could swim in this, with this. Very nice. And like when you fill it with water, it sounds crazy. How can you care? You're concerned about my happiness. All the thoughts you've given me is conscious, I guess. How you laughing in the shoes already worried. When your friends are worrying about me, I'm having lots of fun. Cotton falls on the I'm really trying to break my social anxiety. That's one thing I think I really appreciate streaming with, because I probably seem quite social or whatever, but I assure you, ask anybody that knows me personally, I am very quiet. And the only reason why I started the channel is because like I couldn't break out of my own shell. I love like showing people like little tips and tricks or like ideas how to use stuff, but I rarely leave my room, rarely leave my desk, rarely. Like unless it's like to swim or like stuff like that, I really rarely leave my room. And once I actually tried to break my social anxiety by way of, because I get extreme stage fright. It could be in a group of friends. Like if someone's like, "Oh, Jamie, tell that story," and everybody looks at me, I will just melt and run away. But I'm trying to break that. And so once I was so desperate, because like I write songs and I just like creating stuff, but there's something inside me that does not allow me to sing out loud or dance and like stuff like that. So I want to break whatever ego I've left, and that keeps me from singing and dancing. Cause I don't know. But so I auditioned for a play. It didn't go very well. It went horribly, but I didn't die. I was very much alive, and I had the greatest night of my life. I was like maniacally laughing, and just like felt alive. because born an only child, so just so dang used to being by myself that there's a part of me that like I see it in memes sometimes, like the part of me that wants to disappear into the forest, but the other part of me that wants to build a community. So I'm like in between the two, for real. And I live currently in Southeast Florida, and where the weather is always nice. And I miss I don't know, I miss that like communal feeling. People feel a little separated now. Like when I go out, and I try to, you know, smile at every single person I pass, compliment something, like, whoa, those are the coolest shoes I've ever seen in my life. Stuff like that. Because, people have it really hard right now, and, I don't know. So I really want to make some groups where people just get together and make cool stuff, act like kids, roll in the grass. Because, I mean, that's what I do, and I seem to be holding out pretty dang good. I think. Yeah. This is a piece of shell, but it's all hollow in the inside, and it's really thick. Thicker than I think one would expect. But the shell does, or the holes do go all the way through. Really neat. And it's not a fragment. These I started just recently picking up. I believe they're called slippers. When I was a kid, I was freaked out by these. I called them witches' nails. But now they're quite cute. They look like little manatees. Little manatees. Really want to get the manatees on film to show y'all, because they are very casual in these parts, and they're some of the most magical creatures I've ever come in contact with. There's a spot called the Spillway in West Palm Beach, Florida. It's in between West Palm Beach and Lake Worth, actually. And the Spillway, every day at a certain time, forgot the time, the gates open, so a ton of fish. It's really good fishing for those who are into it. However, it's a really good spot to see manatees. Unfortunately, going to visit manatees is very, very beautiful, but it can also be very sad, because their backs are usually full of scars, and they're so sweet, and they're so curious and soft. Like they're cool creatures. Like I am very it is not lost upon me that it's a treat to be able to live so close to them. I've been trying to get the gators on camera for y'all, but I don't know what's happened to them all. Like somebody threw a just some stuff. Somebody threw the rest of their bait, because I'm sure they were going home and didn't want to have their car stinking. And I didn't even see any. I didn't see any. It was so rare. Like it's not rare to see a gator out here. It's rare to not see a gator out here. And I don't know if they've all like just moved because some sort of developing, or if they were poached. I don't know. And I look every single day for them. And starting to turn into some worry, honestly, because I don't know if it's like the new developing and the new people are like, oh my god, gators. It's like, oh my god, pussies. Oh. I have some opinions, and I'm not in control of my own opinions, okay? But they don't bother anybody. and they're so deep in the canal they can't come out, and I just can't help but like notice more or less acceptance of their presence, which I think is really disheartening, because the alligators have always been here, and like they're small cute little gators. I love them, and I know people eat them. I'm not against that. Like people do their thing, and I'm not against that one bit. But like you know, if you see a gator in its natural habitat, the best thing is to leave it, or else it's just gonna get killed or thrown into like a zoo type thing. I need to get more information on that because like I said, I look every day and I haven't found any, and my curiosity is leading me to really want to know what's happened to them. Oh, also, I've never found a glass marble in the ocean. I found one. This felt so cool to find. Just looked down in the water and there was this like glowing orb. It was really cool. And it's a little misshapen. It's not a perfect circle. So I'm very curious as to. I thought it was a Remune marble from those sodas. Hello! Hello, Moose Moose! Or Moo Moo. Thank you, Scotland! That's nice of you. It's still a trip that, like, it's kind of to me, like, I'm just sitting out here organizing shelves. But that's what I mean by the internet being, you know, the most valuable tool like we have. Because, you know, Snap and I are both hermits, and we both have our crafts or all of that. And he's a programmer and I'm a crafter, and totally different worlds, but both worlds are require not leaving a desk for very often. And the internet just bridges the gap between people, and it's so important to connect with others and learn from others, get a gauge on what others are thinking. We're all on the same planet, and I very much value that, because I see the world in my. Oh, I'm not wearing shoes. I rarely am wearing shoes. See, that's why. That's why I have to put myself in other people's shoes, because I don't even have. No, I'm just kidding. But I see the world through the eyes of a only child, Floridian crafter, salvage lady. That's how I see the world. So obviously, my necessities or my opinions are going to greatly differ from somebody who's raising a family, or whose kids are on their way to college, or who's trying to finish college themselves to get, you know, higher and higher and higher. And so that's why I always put myself in other people's shoes, and I think it's kind of a natural thing I do because of that. Because if I just see the not everyone's an only child, and not everyone is nobody is the same. Even if you have the exact same interests, you know, you could like different food, or like one person likes the indoors, one person hates being inside, and stuff like that. It's too complex, and that's why it's very wise, in my opinion, to listen to what others think. It doesn't matter what it's about. You'll learn so much. And that's why I watch everything. It doesn't matter what news channel or whatever, I'll watch it, because I want to know what other people think. I don't want to sit in an echo chamber. I'm deathly afraid of echo chambers. As soon as I hear like repetition, I'm like, am I losing my mind? So yeah, I don't like echo chambers. I don't like confirmation bias. That's why often, if I agree with you, almost sound like I don't because and Sap is the same way. Is the only person that like really understood what I was saying. Like I automatically go devil's advocate because I want to find all the missing bits and learn as much as I can. Like I said, I don't leave my desk very often, and I listen to a lot of music. I don't have, you know, I'm so there's a lot of stuff I'm always missing. I can't keep up with everything happening in the world. Thankfully, my friend will send me, you know, news articles if there's something that shouldn't be missed, especially with everything happening in Haiti right now. Mario, a dear friend and fellow artist, is really suffering. He lives in Port-au-Prince, and if I think his Instagram is in my description, but if not, it's ATIS Alpha Tango Indigo Sierra 198 on Instagram. His name is Mario. His art is so unique and like touches on darker tones and like everybody knows what's going on in Haiti right now because it's everywhere on the news, and he's still sitting there painting. When I first followed him, it was a few years ago, and he had an art school, and he was just teaching local kids how to paint and express themselves. And then the earthquake, and it destroyed his school, and then the president, and then of course now, and I believe his mom is still missing, and his daughter's very sick, and at one point he was trying to desperately get out with his granddaughter, but there was no way. And really, really horrific, and like very good person. What I gather, like, you know, I've never met him in person, but I followed him for years, talked to him a ton, and just, you know, I followed him for his art. His art's fantastic, very unique, and like I love symbolic art where there's a lot of things happening and it's all pointing to something rather than it overtly like just whatever it's depicting. I don't know how to put it into words. Symbolic art, I really, really like. I like being able to look at a piece of art and feel like I'm reading it. And symbolism is, I often say, but it's true, symbolism is my favorite language. And most notable uses of symbolism, like in the modern day, would be your secret societies, fraternities, or clubs. There's one called the Order of the Odd Fellows. Very, very, very cool art. Beautifully, beautifully done. I hope one day my skills of symbolism will, you know, be good enough to maybe make a flyer or something. I don't know. I just love them. Their uses of symbolism. Same thing with the Masons. Like, I really like Masonic art for the use of symbolism. And, who else? Oh, the Rosicrucians, of course. They have it down. And there's tons and tons and tons of these, fraternities that are very symbolic. Commonly known as secret societies, however, I kind of removed them from that because the origin is much different than the currently held things. At one point, secret societies were very secret. And I really like the Rosicrucian origin, where the 3 manifestos were posted in random parts of Europe. Where was it? I believe the origin is in Germany. I don't remember where the manifestos are posted, and I really should remember that. But really, really interesting. I really am trying to get to... This is why I need a notebook. I try to put stuff in my calendar, but I know it is past. The Rosicrucian temple down south in Hialeah had a public event, and I really wanted to make it. I totally forgot. I know it passed. It was like March 16th or something. Darn it. They don't have that many public events, and so I really want to go to the next one. Which I feel like if I were to call, they seem like very genuinely nice people, and like some things I kind of try to instill some magic in to make it less mundane, but also I try to mundane some like things because they're just people. They're just curious people. Curious people that value friendship and camaraderie. That's how I see it anyway. And symbolism. I'm not looking to join any society or anything. I got monkey brain. It's swinging back and forth to all kinds of things constantly. I'm not really trying to join anything. I really like communicating with curious minds because just a few minutes of conversation. Oh my god, I haven't heard of any of that ever. I'll hack some for necklace. My hands are very stained from the stains. I really like these. I give them to friends for little ashtrays, or what I use them for is watercolor. This is, oh my god, it's so soft. It's so smooth. It doesn't look like it would be. But this, I would much rather use this than spend $1 on a piece of plastic that I'll lose in a week. I got a big basket of these. I tried to get the little paint things, but I'm always bouncing around from crafts, so I lose stuff. Try to find some decent shelves. It seems like anytime I find some affordable shelves online, I'll look up the reviews, and it's like, yeah, I put my last book on it, and the whole thing came crashing down. And I've experienced that before. And so really trying to find something sturdy. And IKEA, the one shelf that I really, really want, they won't deliver it. Not available for delivery. Ooh, this is one of my favorites. This little chip has got a hole on it. It's got these really faint, almost pastel-y lines on it. I'll add that to my lucky bracelet. Let's put these. I'll overboard on fragments because I really want to get them to people that aren't on the coast. Is that in Sterling? There's plenty of room to get an oval out. I think would be really nice. I don't have a grinder right now. I do have a bandsaw. That's why I make the buttons. Buttons. This orange is really nice. There's certain kind of shell materials, if you will, that keep their color even after they dry out. This is one of them. Some look like cow print. Which, the cow print ones I'm saving up, I have a bunch of old denim. So I want to make like a choker, a Texan choker with a cow print and denim. I know, it's just kind of like, I like making things for other people. Started out making jewelry because I just like interesting pieces, and kind of hard to find interesting pieces when I was younger, and so never stopped. I haven't bought in a Christmas gifts in a good 10 years. Everybody gets homemade goods. And I don't just make jewelry. I'll make pretty much anything. I'm gearing to try electroforming again, but I couldn't get the battery acid open. Not even kidding. A big old bottle of battery acid. I don't think I should like get rough with it because it is battery acid. So I tried muriatic acid, which is a dirty acid, and of course it did not work. But I don't know why, like the exact whys, unfortunately. I just not some and it's super brittle, like it still was, like the copper particles were still being, coating the other objects that I put in it, the leaf. Really brittle, like, grains. Interesting nonetheless, but yeah, it's just grains. Another one. Those really like, I used to call these Lays when I was a kid because they look like those chips. Ripples. Tons of shells with holes though, so anybody wants to singer on seashell. Go with the hole. I try to grab anything with the hole. I've drilled through my thumb multiple times, and to avoid that again, like my fingers are really dyed from the mulberries. Like, do you see all those like lacerations? Oh no, on this finger. I've been doing a lot of wire work the last few days, and it's very sharp. Very sharp. Oh, another side. I haven't been shell collecting in a while, so I grabbed whatever I could. There were billions of shells. Those huge shell pits. Do not feel guilty taking shells. When I was a kid, I valued shells so much, I thought that someone was going to stop me and be like, you can't take that many. I did have a tiny little bag. And, because that's how beautiful and like treasure-like I view these things as. And, but yeah, I know. And a lot of these are fragments. They're just going to turn to sand. And who knows when some of these species are going to disappear. And like, if you don't pick up the shell, like it could just go unnoticed, go back to the shore, and just slowly erode back into sand, which, you know, that's beautiful too. Alright. It's nice to find, I like the sounds. Really, every part of this is my favorite. Textures and the fragments. I really can't wait to get a grinding wheel. And if you have one and you want to try, I think they're really, really nice. They're not perfectly flat, but I know there's all kinds of materials when you're setting something like that to make it flat. I didn't get very far in metalwork. I just kind of learned enough that I needed to learn to make like bezels. And I have a few shells that I put. Oh, this is 1835, I believe, or 1838 sterling. I think there's like 3. Yeah, it's all old pennies. These already had holes in them. I personally don't drill holes in coins because I don't want to affect any. I know collectors are quite serious. So I just buy shells or coins with holes already drilled in it because a lot of collectors have no interest in them. I don't know why. It's like, don't you like a charm bracelet or something? But Yeah, so really cheap, and I was looking for KYNTO poles. I didn't even see that. It's got 3 lines, and that's the just basic sea stone. I don't know what it's called, but it's essentially sand. Is this considered coquina? Or is coquina the stuff that's more like gritty and looks like billions of shell fragments cemented together? I know. The little shells go in resin. Oh, Miss Blue. Oh, thank you. Try to keep it very simple. This is the perfect time of year. So probably genuine license like haters. In a few weeks, though, I'm going to be beet red and literally dripping in sweat, and there's not going to be any winds. The summers are so brutal. I'm very curious because a lot of people move to Florida from up north. And see, if I moved up north and I did that. I moved to Colorado briefly. It was very cold. It was so nice. It was so nice. It was very cold. I showed up in tights and a sundress and a jacket from like Forever 21 that I got from Goodwill. And I almost froze. I met one of my friends that I still talk to this day because I was going thrifting with my rabbit. I had a pet rabbit, and instead of like carrying it in a basket, I had a big stroller, like a baby stroller for him. And this guy's like, "Lady, I don't know where you're from, but you can't have a baby in this weather, like outside." And I'm like, "It's not a baby, it's a rabbit." And I was like, "You big fluffy rabbit." It was a rescue I accidentally ended up with. A friend of mine's son was poking the rabbit with carrots that he was calling orange. I don't even want to go. Like, babysitting that kid was straight traumatic. He's doing very well now. But, oh my god. And so I was like, okay, I'll take this rabbit, and gave that rabbit a better life than I had because it made my life a living hell. It bit, not very often, but its teeth were like fiberglass. It was insane. And like the tiny little nib, like it felt like fiberglass. But he was very sweet. He lived a good 2 years. No! I think I did have one. Oh no, I'm blind. It's seaweed. There was a dead crab. I felt so bad. I check, triple, quadruple check shells so I don't bring home a creature. When I lived by the beach, I would just go back and put them back in the ocean. However, no, it's a little too far to just, bite. So I triple, quadruple check while I'm there. It was genuinely very depressing. I don't have any salt water or anything like that here. But it's very sad when I pull out a shell and there's just like a struggling crab. Haven't experienced that in years because I really do check. I am not vegan. My half sister is for 30 years too. But I don't kill any creatures, not even roaches. Like I don't count mosquitoes because that's an accidental, and like I don't like killing them because I don't like blood stains on my clothes. There's a lot of mosquitoes out here. A lot of mosquitoes out here. A lot of mosquitoes. A lot. There is like 50 different species of mosquitoes out here. So much this time of year, but in a few months, I'll walk around outside with the headlamp to show y'all, because that It's like National Geographic in my face. Cause yeah, I'm a headlamp girly, whatever that means. I love me a good headlamp. My hands are usually busy, and I have like rotten night blindness, so I really like headlamps. But out here, that headlamp, oh my god, that headlamp is nothing but a discotheque for any flying insects. And as soon as you hit that headlamp, it's like in your face, and it doesn't stop. So I kept one of the hats that came with Snappo for my birthday. I think one year got me a bee box, and so I kept the hat out because I know during the summer that is going to be coming in handy, not for bees, just for things flying in your face. Because you could cover up, but it's harder to cover up your face unless like a bee hat or a gimp mask could be. Oh yeah, it's a little too hot for that out here. Almost done. Thank you all for joining me in this. This would have taken me so long to sit in one place and finish it in one go. And this small little bits I pour into. I have a little baking dish full of little shell fragments because, like, I'm sure under ooh. This will hold like this. This, I'm sure there's a lot of mica in, and so I'll take my tweezers to it, and if you look even closer, you'll even sometimes find baby shells, like very, very, like almost microscopic shells. I have some. It took forever, but that's okay. Some of this is just like how one would do a crossword puzzle. I don't plan on using some of these, but like just collecting specimens. But yeah, check this out. You're not even gonna be able to see it. Some of these grains are bigger than what's in this bottle, and what's in this bottle are the tiniest shells I've ever found. Like, I can't even. Like, let me try to. These are shells. Real microscopic, pretty much, shells. And this sand I really want to put in the microscope. Look, this giant whelp. This thing must have been huge. But it's just, and this again for watercolor. So I might cut this stream because it seems like they are cutting concrete now, which is understandable. They're building a house. Not alone out here no more. Good thing, Scott, good thing it didn't like revert back to full on barbarian. It's like, I mean, you're never alone. It's urging people to not forget about strangers. I always see people in comments saying how they have nobody to talk to, and everybody I feel like could understand that, like that feeling. But I never see people like recommending to go to talk to strangers, like on a bus stop, at a bar. You don't have to drink. I don't drink. I personally do not consume alcohol. I haven't consumed alcohol in over 5 years now, and it was just for reasons that my creativity was suffering. I wasn't remembering stuff. Just internal angers. Do you want to fight? Like, no. So I couldn't read my handwriting and like stuff like that. And like I always am writing in my notebook random ideas, little like just things to make and stuff like that. So kind of need to read it and notes. And really, it was just like the production. I like to feel like I'm at least getting something done or made all seconds of the day, and I just couldn't handle it. And also, I just physically couldn't handle it either. It's very strong, like when you use it for fires and to make like perfumes and stuff. And so it was a bad mix, and it was keeping me from doing the stuff that I actually like swimming and running and walking. Well, I don't really like running. I run really fast, but like running, I get really bored easily. And I haven't found headphones that don't fall out of my ears yet. Okay, I'm going to grab a little more coffee, and I just got things to put under the thing so moisture doesn't form in the. Can't forget this. Needs water. This was already kind of a forgotten. Oh, forgot. Found this shell in the swamps a few days ago. Now it's the third big boy. Still got two. They sell those like fidget things. What are they? No, not fidget things. You know, like it'll be an egg and it'll be like have fossils in it and you have to dig the stuff out. It's like a natural version. And I'm sure there's gonna be other shells in here. I find scallops, all kinds of stuff. Like the stream I was biking around yesterday, I know the quality wasn't very good, but here's the olive shell I found out here in the swamps. Some shell rock. Also found a little oh, I found another one of these snail things, which for some reason these are some of my favorites. They look archaic, but they're not. Well, the ones out here I have no idea how old they were. Or if they were taken from dredged sands and just, but this, it's very polished, very soft, very strong, oh, I loved it. I loved finding this so much. And I was just sitting there. And all these are from Singer Island. Pretty much all fragments. There was a ton of spiral shells and stuff like that, but pretty much every spiral shell I picked up, excluding the walnut shells, were inhabited. So those were off limits. And the few that I did grab, you know, like these ones, there's hundreds of living ones. Snorkel, blue heron, bridge, that's totally worth it. But it's got holes, so there was definitely not a creature in it. And if you're in Florida, there's tons of swimming spots, and I plan on swimming for the rest of my life. And I think you know, I'm my only child, So, Big Brother and I are just like not in the same pod. I've been left alone for too long. I found my passions, and it's very separate from things. And I don't know. This is the opposite of stressful. It's the opposite of negativity. And it's free. I watch the news, alright? A lot. Too much. Even when I say I'm not. Because I don't want to talk about it. Shit's bonkers right now. It really is. And, so keep your own head up, because you can't help anybody unless you help yourself. And make sure yourself is good. I don't know. Start a little garden. Even if it isn't for food, it's just to have a place to stay centered. Because I don't know how everybody's not screaming at the top of their heads, like their hands in there, like we're on a roller coaster, because it's just getting real. And, I like my, fringe folk. Yeah, I grew up watching anything Alex Jones put out. I didn't expect it to blend so seamlessly with I still can't believe that we went through a literal global pandemic, and all the isolation and the lockdowns. Oh man, I don't know. All I know is I got some time to make up. Like, I got some lost time to make up. One day I'll get a little better at this. Oh, watermelon. I think they're like $30. I forgot how much it really was. I think it was like $2 or something. Oh, cool. Oh, the sun. Yeah, okay, water. Paddleboard or whatever, canoe. Fill it with water. I don't know how to play it though. I'm gonna play 2 songs, and one is "Suicide is Painless," but it's the MASH theme song. I grew up watching MASH. Adam Alda, and the intro song. That song, I think it was written by like the producer's son or something like that. But it's a really dark song. It's called "Suicide is Painless," and there's lyrics to it. That's the one, and then of course "Flowers on the Wall" by Statler Brothers. It's been one of my favorite songs since I was a kid. Middle school, I did a book report on Girl Interrupted. The book, I actually didn't know about the movie until my mom saw the book that I picked. Back in middle school. And yeah, it's a great song. Great movie too. It's based on a real story. Angelina Jolie and Keira Knightley. I don't watch too much movies or TV shows, but I don't know, like it's not that I don't like TV and shows, it's just I overthink it. Like, too much suffering, I think. There's something dark that I just can't unsee watching movies, and there has to be an R-word scene in every movie. Like, I don't know, I just can't get into movies anymore. There's just and shows, I can't watch one episode. There's something that needs to know, like the conclusion, so I'll just watch the entire thing. And to avoid that, I just kind of avoid it altogether. And like I said, I have this sensation that won't like cease of like, I guess people call it FOMO, but it's something different. Like not so much fear of missing out, fear of time flying by. And because time has been flying so fast that I'm convinced that we've moved like we're off path in space or some shit. I'm not even kidding, because like time is really moving by, and I already try to make time go as slow as possible. Every second I try to make last minutes, and I'm very self-content. I like making stuff and listening to music. So also, if you have any music recommendations, please share them. I'm gonna cut this stream and probably bring this inside, but I have a ton of chain to make, and so I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna stream some more from inside while I do that. It genuinely keeps me in one place, because I have a tendency to jump around in whatever projects, and unfortunately I don't get a lot done that way, because like I haven't mastered any crafts yet, so I kind of, that's why I call myself a jackass of all trades rather than a jack of all trades. I don't know what I'm doing. I love doing it, and I love learning of new things to do, and hopefully one day I could get a group going and you could just all meet up at a nature preserve and trade shells, plants, and craft ideas, and meet cool people that way. Sort of an actual functioning community of people that actually like each other and are curious. Curiosity is very important. I almost think of it as a muscle that is to be exercised. And yeah, and ideas are my favorite thing on this planet. And every human, anything starts with an idea. And I don't know, take try. That breeze, when the sun disappears and that breeze comes, it gets shy. Well, might as well end the stream a little tour of what's going on. The bumblebee ginger needs a little bit more taken off with this southern hibiscus, which is very excited to see flower. Crinum lily. They smell so good. Wow. And there's a bunch of them, so if anybody wants to try to grow crinum lilies. Also down to send anybody up north, because I'm very interested to know if crinum lily will do good indoors in a container. Woo! And this is the new one. Well, it's not new. I planted this 5 years ago from a cutting, and Snap Up kept it nice and fed. It first year fruiting. Oh, I'm so stoked. So stoked. Snapper, there's one ready. 2 ready. And this is, it's amazing. This one is in full sun, and the leaves are quite smaller than the one up front, which is in half shade. Every single one of these mulberries came from one tree growing behind my grandparents' house, which long since sold. So who knows if the original tree is still there. But turned a few cuttings into 7 full-grown mulberry trees. Absolutely full fruit. Absolutely full. Way too much fruit for us. That's for dang sure. Hi, kitten. Kitten. That is Itkin Eagos snake. I think mulberries and moringa, mulberries and mangoes are my 2 favorite foods ever. So far, they really are. After the fruiting, I'm going to be taking a ton of cuttings to start more trees. And if this tree specifically doesn't grow near you, but you're interested in growing mulberries, Facebook, if you look up any of like your local groups, plant groups, guaranteed somebody will go right in the yard and snap out a branch. I hand it to you to grow. Like the bumble, okay, like this. This, all the way up there. This was just planted a few months ago. And it's from a neighbor gave me a ton of cuttings. And she also gave me the cuttings for the bumblebee ginger with edible flowers. And this is southern hibiscus. And 2 gorgeous plants for free, just from cuttings. And she was so happy. Like, I just messaged her, I was like, hi, I saw your, like, post online or whatever, plant stuff. And she gave me a whole tour of her garden, which was ultimate goals. Like, so the coolest varieties and coolest, like, setups. Really inspiring to see other people's growing setups. Because nobody in my family grew plants. My dad does irrigation, or used to, but not plants. So any plant stuff I had to kind of figure out. I mean, honestly, it kind of bugs me out. This tree I've been eating on since I was a kid, but no one in my family trusted it. You don't know what that is. It's like the internet exists. I'm the black sheep of my family. They made fun of me for everything. It didn't matter what it was. And like they called me volcanic eruption because I like bag skin when I was a kid. They called me Dumbo because my ears stick out. They called me SpongeBob because I had a gap in my teeth. What the hell? So any other black sheep in the family, like, I was one of the only creative people in my family. I was like making stuff, but I used to get made fun of so brutally for it. And I don't know why. And yeah, that one was a little soft. But yeah, so yeah, it didn't get me down on though. Cause like, unfortunately, I was quite used to it. I was the only child. I was a little weirdo. And I don't know. My family just some people don't like things that are different. And will brutally just make fun. Which volcanic eruption, yeah, 100. It's still quite taken by that. I was the only child, so like it was just me. And I'd always be like so disappointed. Like, what am I supposed to say to that? There's other stuff. Oh yeah. They tell me I talk like, to this day, they tell me I talk like a little girl. Change your voice, you talk like a little girl. These people don't call me for my birthday. They like, you know what I mean? Like, this is why I've always made my own family. And any human that I've met once, I consider a family for the rest of my life. And people are freaking divine to me. Like, everybody is interested in something that, and everybody has like internal interests. It's really interesting, and that's what I'm trying to get over. Like whatever is left of my ego that keeps me from like talking and like dancing and singing, all that, enjoying life. And yeah, very important. So on that note, I'm going to. Yeah, exactly. And when they come together, like if everybody did the same thing, it would look like a never mind. I love variety, and I love so much that people have different interests, and I think now is the best time more than ever to share your interests and what you are interested, what fascinates you, what songs you can't skip, stuff like that. There's something very important about every bit of it. And I mean, they wouldn't be data mining all this, like, you know what I mean? And the human mind cannot be replicated, and I think that's all the more reason to like really exercise it. And it's like, no, what is it that I like? What ideas do I have? What is popping up in my mind? Like, that's why as soon as I hear, like, confirmation bias, not confirmation bias, not so much that, but echo chambers, like, because we live once that we know of. You know, I'm under the impression that we probably don't live once, but that changes all the time. My thoughts on that changes all the time. So that's why I say we live once that we know of, that we're absolutely certain of. Like, we could be certain that we're here right now, and that's what I want to make count. And that's, you know, it doesn't matter if, like, I'm making a ripple in an ocean, or I'm making a ripple in a puddle in my own, like, path. As long as, like, there is a ripple and it's showing, like, some form of and we're so small. I feel like we might be a little smaller than even because I know we're small. Like, anytime I need a little wake-up call, I put on one of those graphics that's zooming out of Earth and just zooming past all the galaxies, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I don't really care, I'll do it. Because, yeah, I don't know how people aren't screaming their heads off. Like, sometimes I'll look in the sky at night and I'm just like, oh dear God. Scary Larry. But I love it, I really do. And I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm very ooh! I realize I probably shouldn't have done. But it's all mulberries. I'm standing on the mulberries. But yeah, on that note, I'm just gonna read it, please. Can you read what I said? Oh God, I'm scared. Where is it? Bro, read it, please. Can you read what I said? Gerard Zunder. Maybe it's a simulation, yeah. That's one reason why I really want to get Snafu on one of, like, these kind of ranty streams, because again, I'm coming from, my angle is crafty lady. Snafu's a programmer, software developer, and those two, like, it's wild because tech is, oh my God, like, if you look up zooming into a how do you say, computer chip, and it's like, looks like an alien language, or looks like Pali almost, or something like Sanskrit, like very cool, like geometric language. You gotta zoom in a long time. Like, that is very impactful to see. And something as simple as a little short could be very impactful. And yeah, I think that was essential to do that. Oops, didn't European football. It's a proper football. God. I wish there was a way to watch the entire game in slow motion, because, like, I might not watch too many sports, but very, very, very impressive. Oh my God. And I was watching a slow motion of football, soccer here or whatever, and all the different, like, because you can't use your hands, and just all the different, like, methods. It was really another impactful short, because God, like, I showed it in regular thing and it just kind of looked like he was, like, flopping, and then it shows it slow motion, like boom, 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 boom. Whoa, how does one's brain work that fast? It's wild. So I really value Call of Duty. It's the only game I play pretty much right now. And there's a few reasons why. Like a cross console, can play with anybody. There's always somebody on, and it was for reflexes, and like thinking a little quicker. And I think it's a valuable tool for that. I wouldn't consider myself a gamer by any means because I'm not. I don't know many games, and the games I do know from the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, but pretty much PlayStation 1. Like, all the games I remember playing were black CDs. But if anybody that is on Call of Duty, I do have a Activision ID in the description. Gardening is great, and like if you're over in Europe, like I think I mean gardening is becoming. I mean landscaping here has been the big thing for a long time. Landscaped yards and this, and slowly more and more people are turning their yards into full functioning gardens. But the European gardens, I think like in the UK. There's like the little like bricked-in garden and like the terraces or trellises and stuff. That's like goals. And I play Call of Duty, and I'm not very good at all. Snappo is better than me, but I have if I'm playing with Snappo, I do way better like for some reason because we can strategize and stuff like that. Pretty good. Thank y'all for joining me because I would not have. There are all sorts of. Now all these go into jars because I find too many of species. I put them in jars. I'm trying to find a better place to keep all the jars because I think they're as good as decor as anything else. And big old jars. And I've been collecting for a long time, but I'm starting to organize them because I want to take pictures of each species because even though the shells look the same, like, they're really not. There's so many little unique things with it. And maybe even making framed pieces, and I'll have the species name and common names, and then all of them glued in kind of a grid. And they all are really unique. And yeah, but I think I'm going to hop on a few games of Call of Duty. I'm trying to get a team going so I could make a podcast style and just call it a codcast. I know it's dumb, but I love it. And I genuinely really do love the game. I don't know why I've taken to it so hard. I tried playing Battlefield, couldn't. Tried playing Call of Duty, couldn't. Then played Assassin's Creed Oranges for like 2 years. No, it was like a few months. I play it on and off, but it makes time melt for me. I like exploring in it, and once I looked at the clock, it said 12 p.m., and then I looked at the clock, and it was like 8 or 9, and I was like, oh no. And I was blasting through the game within a few days. It was half done, and I really, really like it. And so I don't want to finish it yet, and have it lose its impact, because the first thing I did was just unlock every area, I guess, and so I could just travel the whole thing. They did a really good, like, anybody into Egyptology would really benefit from playing that, even if to just explore. And Call of Duty, I started playing after I got used to the modern controls, like using the one side to walk and one side for the camera, because I couldn't do that at all. Oh my god, it's freezing to stand in the sun. But couldn't really do that at all. Oh, I got a ton of lemongrass. This is the seeding kind though. It's a pain in the ass. Absolute pain. I mean, it smells really good when it's mowed, but it pops up everywhere. I don't think I'm ever going to get seeding lemongrass again. It's not as sweet also, and it pops up in my pots, and the roots look really tiny, but they really grab onto everything, and I have to take out the whole plant to separate it. But the Activision ID is in the description if anybody is on Call of Duty. It's I have Modern Warfare 2 and 3. And for some reason Modern Warfare 2 is still super janky, but Modern Warfare 3 I think it's a little, like, a hair smoother, and it might just be my imagination, but I love it so much. I really want to get the Lara Croft skin so I could get 2 guns, and I like killing birds. I gotta stop saying that. You know the phrase, I don't like killing birds. I don't kill birds. But the phrase killing 2 birds with 1 stone, that's when I say I love killing birds, that's what it means. I like doing multiple things while doing one thing. And if I'm gonna be playing Call of Duty every single day, I might as well just like fulfill every child fantasy also and play as Lara Croft. And yeah, that was my first and only idol when I was a child. And I still cannot believe that they have a Lara skin in it. And like, I can't believe that it's as Tomb Raider is as popular as ever, if not more so. Like, every day I see like dozens of Tomb Raider cosplays. It's brilliant. I love it so much. And yeah, my favorite plant is probably moringa, because here it grows very easily, and it's known as the most nutritious tree on the planet. And it's got protein, calcium, iron. It's got it all, and every part of it's useful. And the seeds are eaten medicinally and kind of taste and have the texture of like stale popcorn or something. And a really cool tree. And the leaves, kind of small leaves that branch out into smaller leaves. Hard to explain. Moringa. Moringa. Really neat plant. And of course mulberry. Any kind of mulberry. I'm trying to get more varieties now. And hopefully accidentally start a mulberry orchard. It's a shame that they don't travel well. The fruit, when they're ripe, they pretty much instantly start breaking apart. But thinking like preserves or something like that. And just gotta meet the right person that is into that already, so I could try to make some. And so many of them. I had ice plant, and it's an edible plant that kind of looks like it's covered in salt crystals, because it is. And I was able to get one seed to sprout, and it got like this big. I was able to taste one of the leaves. It was such a cool texture. Ice plant. And you use in kind of like Gucci restaurants, stuff like that. Really, really neat though. Ice plant. And what else? I have vanilla bean orchid. And we went to a plant meetup, and when we were leaving, somebody was like, "Man, I can't believe nobody wanted my vanilla bean orchid." We were like, "Excuse me, what did you say?" Because very nondescript when they're laying on the table. And yeah, vanilla bean. So I have one cutting that's already in ground growing up a palm tree, and then one that I'm going to cut into smaller cuttings, because that's really, really 100% mulberry family of trees. Because then eventually I could probably get the variety that they use to feed silk moths, because they leave like silk in a cocoon, and I'm not sure if you can harvest it after. Regardless, it's really cool, because I mean, everything on this planet is from something on this planet, and I think that's why, I don't know, like shellac is used to make jewelry, decorate things, to cover candy, pills, and it's the excretion of a bug, and little things like that is really, really wildly. It doesn't gross me out none, because everything is from this planet, and everything's gonna go back to the planet. Like, ain't no thing. So, I don't know. But it's really, really fascinating when you start looking into plants, because they say butterflies are pollinators, and that butterfly flew by, and the biggest gust of pollen came off of it. Oh man, I don't think the stream is gonna survive over here, but it's that time of year where the butterflies are mating, and they mate in this forest. I'm not going that way again, because I stepped on a massive thorny. Ew. Ha! Look at that. Oop. What was that? Stuff will crawl on your feet, and it's better to just react and then find out what it was. But there's one. They mate back here. I keep meaning to make a full-on video. I did. Ooh, I don't know actually if I posted it. I gotta put. Maybe. I found a red golf ball back there the other day when I went to go see the mating butterflies. I'm gonna actually see if I post that, because if I didn't, oh man, as soon as I walk away. Yellow. And this is like thick forest, and in the back and deep within it, there's like hundreds of them. And all these really thin branches too. It's wild that they could fly so unobstructed. Really, really nice to see. We're gonna go try to make some change and improve my kill-death ratio. I usually die just as many times as, but that's like, I got 31 yesterday, which is crazy. I never breached 20. Usually, like when I first started, I couldn't breach 5. But I got 31 the other day, and so stuff. I found this gun that works, called a SMZX or something like that. I finally used, anytime I try to affect a gun, in Call of Duty, it makes it worse and slower, so I use like a preset he hit R2. I didn't know those presets, and found one that I liked. I was able to soup it up, get better ammo and stuff like that, and finally have something that works. Because I'll be real, I picked what's prettiest. Like, wow, that piece has a really beautiful like engraving on the side. I need that. Meanwhile, I can't use it because it's too slow. Or like the one I was a small machine gun. I can't use it at all. And then the other way is I just pick up other people's pieces to try on, but I always forget what they're called. And there's one guy called a BB Tone, which is a pinback song. And I'm like, oh. I looked up BB Tone, I couldn't find any information on it, so maybe that was like somebody's ode to pinback. I don't know. But happy trails. Thank you all for joining. Please do feel free to come back. I will probably be on in a few hours because this is very centering for me. It really is. I have a scatterbrain. And what else? Oh yeah, but this is another favorite plant, and it was free. And it's really big. It's Monstera. A lot of people have this tattooed on their bodies, and it makes a fruit. Let's see. I thought it was. Time flies. Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. I can't grab it with my hand because people always say it looks pretty. But that's it. The round for size. And this, they call it corn fruit, and when it starts to break open is when you can eat it, but not a second before or else your mouth will be on fire. It's like fiberglass. But really good, kind of like a mango-y banana. And that was free. I'm going to start taking cuttings from it. Somebody was giving away the fruits, and I was like, wow, I've always wanted to grow that. And they sent over a cutting too. And it's gotten to the point where the pieces growing have roots. So I'm going to start getting these out. Because this is another one of those fail-proof plants. This is a new, it's so soft. It's so soft and fresh, this new baby leaf. And it's so big. That was silly. Alright. Happy trails. Again, I have a lot of southern in my blood, so goodbyes are not like something again. Happy trails. Thank you for joining me. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, KYNTO, and always on KYNTO. Starting to use KYNTO more and more because every time I seem to comment on something on Instagram, it removes my comment. It doesn't matter what it is. And with it, it'll be like, we removed your content, this and that. And then it's like, you posted this on your profile. It's like, no, I commented on something about my channel. All their ads that I'm forced to sit through, which I don't mind, promote self-promotion. You could open a shop on it, but I don't know if it was a glitch or what. Every single thing I was talking about, or every single thing I was commenting on about anything, I didn't mention nothing. And I'm already really careful with like wording when I'm commenting and stuff, and it was all removed. I don't get it. And so yeah, so KYNTO is always my focus, and I just got to be more so than ever. But I wish I could grow sweet corn. I know someone out here that briefly had a farm, and they had an immaculate crop of corn, but they were naturalized seeds. And that kid was like studying the seeds. Everybody I asked told me that, like, oh, you cannot grow corn. Now it seems like I see everybody growing corn, so I might try it. Corns and onions are two that I've never really been able to grow. The onions will grow to a point, and then they get like they start rotting. But like there's a lot of onion-like things and onion-flavored, like oniony flavored things. And there's this one called the Egyptian walking onion. I want to grow them so bad. I don't think they'll grow in my area exactly, but I really want to try to grow those. Egyptian walking onions. Very, very cool. And, yeah. Happy trails. If I don't do this, I'm gonna end up ranting forever. And my phone is on 9%? Oh, 19%. Oh god. Try not to look too closely. I'm a human, I get self-conscious. Self-conscious?